Hey everyone, so today's video is actually going to be on, I think, the most broken hero in the game. And it's Vengeful Hassle. I am on dhop's account, so thank you to him to let me showcase this for you guys. Let's talk about him first. I'll talk about the build that he has him in. I'll talk about his masteries, all that stuff, okay? So he has a trait called Iron Will where it says at the start of each round gains 15% bonus damage reduction and 35% bonus resistance for each ally alive. What this means is at the very start of the round, this calculates. So he'll gain, and I believe it counts himself, 60% bonus damage reduction at the very start of the battle because everyone's alive. And then also another 140% resistance for each ally alive. I think that's how it works. I don't think it doesn't count him, but I'm not 100% positive. So after someone dies on your team, let's say it's the first turn and someone dies on your team, his damage reduction does not go down for that round yet. It will recalculate at the beginning of the round. So that is something to keep in mind. And then it also has this added line of text where it says attacks deal bonus damage according to this hero's max health. Pretty nice trait. You know, it's kind of basic. It's just here's some bonus damage. Some bonus damage reduction and resistance. And on top of that, he does bonus damage based on his health. If he is ascended, if he were to die, he just gains damage immunity for the turn. So kind of nuts, but whatever. It's a dark legendary. I guess they're supposed to be nuts. So that's that. He has a basic ability that does 100% damage to an enemy. He has him booked, so it's doing 110, with a 50% chance to launch a bonus attack that ignores 80% of the enemy's defense. Trigger chance is increased to 100 if the enemy is a light hero. So right here, you're getting a sense of what he's going to be doing in his trait a little bit with these bonus attacks. So he's ignoring 80% of enemy defense with his basic, and then he can do two instances of damage, and that's 100% if the enemy is light. So pretty crazy just for a basic, but let's continue. So here's his passive. It says when a team member attacks, has a 30% chance to launch a joint attack. When a team member is attacked, has a 30% chance to launch a counterattack on the attacker. So anytime a team member of yours attacks, he has a 30% chance to joint with them, with the basic, as we know, has 80% enemy defense ignore. And then anytime one of your team members is attacked, it has a 30% chance to counterattack as well. So he's just joint attacking, counterattacking. He's getting a lot of attacks off, right? This also, as I should mention, is if your team is attacked with an AoE ability, this will trigger 3 times, right? So if the first person was attacked with that AoE, it calculates, okay, I have a 30% chance. I didn't counterattack. And then the next person, oh, okay, this is another 30% chance because an ally was also attacked. So it does that calculation 3 separate instances. So he can counterattack a lot. And then it said when an ally is killed, gains bonus attack equal to 25% of their attack. And that's up to 4 times per battle. So whenever one of your allies dies, they transfer 25% of their attack to him. So he's gaining steam as the fight goes on. He has damage reduction as the fight goes on. And he's joint attacking and counterattacking along the way. And then his ultimate ability says deals 110% damage to all enemies and applies death immunity to all team members for a turn. So this is a buff. This can be removed. And what this is it's just for 1 turn. So whenever your team member goes, this buff will drop off of them. But as long as it's up, they can't die. Unless there's a hero that's ignoring buffs or death immunity, because there are heroes like that in the game. But really nice buff to be added to your team. And then it says also applies last breath to slain allies. So it doesn't mention what this is, but what it is you revive your entire team that's dead, and all of their skills are actually refreshed. So they're taking off cooldown. So if somebody used an ultimate ability and then they die, and then he uses this last breath ability, they all come back and their ultimate is refreshed. So pretty nuts. And then they only get one turn and then they die again. So that is something to mention. But yeah, this is absolutely busted. And because of this ability, they had to nerf him per se, quote unquote. But they also buffed him in a way, and I'll get to that in a second. And then it said when an enemy is killed, reduces this ability's cooldown by 1 turn. So anytime you kill somebody, this 3-turn cooldown ultimate ability is reduced by a turn. Completely unnecessary, but whatever. And then this is where the nerf came in. It said this ability's cooldown is not affected by allies. And then the buff happened when they added in this clause an enemy's ability effects. So all this means is you can't use an ally's ability to reset the cooldown on this or reduce the cooldown on it. And then your enemies also can't. Like a Holy Armor Virgil can't put his ultimate on a cooldown. Alicia, who's a fire hero, can't put this ultimate ability on a cooldown. So yeah, they nerfed him because of his ability to cheese Void Tower Mythic. And then they buffed him inadvertently with adding that enemy's ability effects. I don't know why they added that. They just needed to keep this allies can't affect the cooldown, but they didn't. So that's his kit. He does have him fully booked out, which is an obvious thing to do here. So on his physique tree, he actually gets 20% health, and he gets more health based on his speed. He does have True Strike in his ability tree, which I think is a good thing for him. Here are his stats. He has 2,600 attack, which is pretty nice considering he does get bonus damage from his health. So you want really tanky health. You don't want him to die. He has some pretty decent defense. Some okay speed. He has him towards the back of the turn order. And he has 60% crit rate because of that True Strike. And then he has decent focus because he does run him in Rebel or Stun Set. And then he also has some pretty high resistance, which, as we saw with his trait, gets bonus resistance. So it's hard for him to control him, with stuns or freeze or taunts or anything like that. And then he has some nice focus on there to land stuns from the Rebel set. Yeah, so that's that. His glyphs, he gets okay speed, he gets nice health, and then a decent amount of resistance. And he does have 1 ascension on him, which gives him more health. That's how his health is 42,000, which is pretty impressive. 1 more of those, and he gets ascended too, which is pretty crazy. But anyway, so here's the gear. He has him in Raider and Stun, and he's got some really nice pieces here. This is the second time I've made this video because I had some fails in Arena. So if he's watching this, I'm sorry. I'm sure you can make it up. I was just testing some things out. But he's got focus, health, speed, triple health roll here, and he still doesn't have this Ord up with crit rate and crit damage, which is nice. This piece is nuts. 4 times roll on health, which is really cool. And then some focus, defense, crit rate, health percentage boots with resistance, focus, and some speed, health percentage ring with speed, resistance, and defense, and then health percentage with speed, crit rate, and focus. So pretty nice pieces here, and his artifacts are actually pretty nice too. He has some crit damage here. He has health percentage with attacks deal bonus damage equal to his max health, which is nice. He gets some focus on his basic ability, which he's counterattacking and joint attacking with, so more chances to land the stun, a little bit of attack, in PvP. And then an okay Grail here as well with some defense and even more attack on his counterattacks. So pretty cool stuff. I'm going to take it into Arena. I'm just going to show you how he works. I was trying to fight teams without knowing the rest of his like heroes compositions, which isn't very smart for me to do. So we're just gonna try and fight some people in here, showing his abilities, his counterattacks, all of those things. So let's jump into that. I guess we will bring in, and I'm already getting into the same issues here, where whatever. We'll try this, I guess. Halia probably isn't the right choice because of God Fairy. Sorry. Let's... I don't know if this hero's booked, but we'll give her a go to snipe the Mathasia or the God Fairy or something like that. Okay, so... let's see here. I'll take this off double speed. You'll see here that he has a 30% chance to joint attack on Mathasia with Alicia whenever she attacks. I don't know if he'll do it or not. Oh, yeah. This Alicia is definitely booked. Okay. And here, let's see if he joint attacks with the God Fairy. On the God Fairy. So there's the joint attack, right? And then he gets a bonus attack as well. Like, just reading this guy, he's just absolutely nuts. Team member attacks, 30% chance to launch a joint attack. Crazy. And then... because he joint attacked with his basic, he had that 50% chance to launch a bonus attack, which is why you saw him attack twice. It's just like, come on, man. Anyway. So here, his Mathasia is actually going to reborn these people. Here's that bonus attack because the Lightwing Zac was light. But he'll reborn them. Here... the Zac attacks the Doomweaver Valyria, and then she's busted as well, which we need another video on. But anyway, yeah, hit joint attacks, counterattacks, anytime your team is attacked. It's hard to show you this just because like this team is so strong. I will say that Divine Yolanda is actually a pretty good counter to him. Just because she can kill people with her ult and they can't be reborn, which is something that his Lasting Breath is really nice at. So here's a joint attack, and he gets the bonus attack as well there. So that Aurea taunted that Alicia. And she attacked and then the counterattack. So there's the counterattack, and there's the stun. That's why he's on Rebel, right? Here we're going to try and joint attack. Okay, we didn't, but we are counterattacking against the Nero. And here, this is where Vengeful Hassle is absolutely nuts. Is he has this death immunity and last breath. So as you saw there, Alicia died, as well as my Nero. So here we'll use his ult, and voila! All of a sudden they're back. Yep. And they get to go again. And guess what? Because these heroes were dead, his ultimate ability reduced their cooldown by 1 turn every time one of them died. So now he just gets to bring them back again. Isn't this nuts? Oh my gosh. So crazy. Anyway. Yeah. That's Vengeful Hassle in a nutshell. Joint attacks, counterattacks, bring back your team, give everybody death immunity. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I will mention, there were, like I said, those teams out there that could cheese Void Tower Mythic. They since patched it. Sadly, dhop did not get a chance to complete it. But what these teams did was they would use Vengeful Hassle to bring back your entire team. Winstrex would use her S2 on Vengeful Hassle, reset his cooldown. Everyone dies. He uses it again. Everyone comes back. She resets. You get the point. He ultimates again. They come back. Yada, yada, yada. So that's why they nerfed that. On top of that, there are some cheese comps within Rift of Chaos, which dhop uses here, right here. This comp to just kind of get bonus turns, bonus turn. So this is on a 3-turn cooldown, and then death immunity to the entire team. You get the point. He's great everywhere, guys. He really is. He's the best hero in the game, in my opinion. I'm so jealous that he has one of them, let alone an ascended one. But thanks again to him to letting me showcase this. Just show how his kit works and stuff like that. Because he's in the upper ends of Arena, I really don't want to troubleshoot some of this stuff without knowing the rest of his heroes. And I don't want to make this video 45 minutes long. So that's all I got for you today. Once again, thanks to dhop. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.